Look, it's like a staircase to hell.
Awesome. I'm staying here forever.
What? You think someone's down?
I think it's like God wet himself.
And you guys are mine. When I say I will say push up, you guys ignore me. You guys are mine.
It's not very I think it's not better than Rick. It is better than Rick.
What? Which lived in here? I wonder if the witch lived there.
And he blessed it with his Bible to make holy water. He then started flicking it around the caves till he heard an almighty scream and then complete silence. See, he turned the witch to stone. She's still here today. It's there. At the top of her, you have a bonnet, and you come down, you got her long nose, you have a screaming mouth, and you have a very long chin. Now you see, unfortunately there was a casualty between Father Bernard and the witch's argument. You see, the witch didn't live here alone. She had a pet dog called Dougal, who was also turned to stone. He's just on the floor over there. Where is that? Oh, now, obviously that's just a story. Like I said, a woman really did live in the caves, and the villagers really did think she was a witch. But we know the witch and Dougal, I nearly fell in. Yeah, watch your feet. 5 years now, and even at the top of him to the ceiling is only 20 centimetres. It's going to take about 9,000 years to reach it. Then in the middle here, we have St. Michael's Mount, named after the island off the Cornish coast. And just here, we have, this guy used to be called the Beehive. It used to be this lovely yellow colour the entire way around. Now he's not so lovely anymore, so we call him Jabba the Hutt. Now guys,
Just look out for... Do you want to go look out for...
Take a picture to see. Not a video, you can't see, it's black. Oh, the flash in it. And you can't.
Chamber 2 of the Great Hall. Now, you see it above us? That is 70 foot above us. That's the same height as the Neve at Wells Cathedral. Now, I'll show you some stalagmites, and I'm going to show you some stalactites. I will say, imaginations are key. Alright, so we'll start at the top, we're going to work our way down. So right at the top, we have the Statue of Liberty. Some people see that as Lamar Simpson, up to you. Alright, coming down, we have St. Paul's Cathedral. Coming further down, we have Casper the Friendly Ghost. And then at the bottom, we have Dumbo the Baby Elephant. I will admit, I personally believe Dumbo is rubbish from up here. So, when we walk past, look at him then. He goes ear, eye, trunk, right to left. Alright? So, all this black stuff inside here, it's actually soot. You see, we've been doing cave tours like the one you guys are on right now since 1900, but the caves weren't lit up until 1940. So before then, what happened is the cave tour would get to this point here. The person who was doing my job would then chuck profane everywhere, get a match, and set the cave wall on fire so you could see everything. Not gonna lie, I kind of wish I still did that. It sounds pretty cool, really. Anyway guys, what we do now is we're going to move on to chamber 3. So, what we do, third step here, it's about triple the height of the others. So be careful. Like I said, look at Dumbo, right to left, ear, eye, trunk. And then we've got our next two low points just over there. Right? Duck under the first one, then stand up, look up. We call it the witch's nostril. Then duck again into chamber 3. Alright?
Ew! No?
Keep up and get you wacky there, too.
Where do we go next?
Welcome to chamber 3, or the witch's parlour. Now, this is very important for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, they need to alarm you that you are currently 200 feet underground and there's 110,000 tons of rock above your head. Now, we've actually had architects in who said this shape, this size, with that weight, 1, you can't rebuild now in modern materials without it collapsing, and 2, it should collapse. That nice big column about there. The reason it doesn't is because it was carved out of the cave naturally. So the rock is still acting as a natural cement. And the reason we know this is because in 1968, this place flooded. The last big flood. Pardon me. And the water only took 20 minutes to go from where it is now to the ceiling. But it takes 2 weeks for it to empty. So during those 2 weeks, we sent some cave divers in there. And they report it's a whirlpool formation starts. So, what's happened over millions of years, every time the chamber flooded, the whirlpool kicks up, picks up the loose rock, slams it against the side, and erodes this amazing chamber that we have now. So that's why there's a collapse, so don't worry. Alright? Now, reason number 2, this place is very important. It's actually the site of the world's first ever cave dive, in 1935. My good mates, Graham and Penelope, came along, in that old-fashioned diving suit. I am talking big brass helmet, big brass boots. So much harder to say than you think, impossible to say after a pint. And they had people pumping them air, you can't carry oxygen in those. So they had people pumping them air just here, so that lives were literally in someone else's hands. And they walked. You can't swim those things, you have to walk. And you see this gap between the water's edge and the cave wall just there? And that's actually a 10-foot archway to chamber 4. So they walked from here and walked in. I went 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then turn around in 7. The only reason I had to turn around in 7 because the airlines simply weren't long enough.
Oh, wait, don't break
Two streams, and then everyone can obey it to show me now. And then we've also got this guy over here, Merlin's beard. Now, this is a formation called Brilliant Karen, and like the clown, at the end of the Ice Age, the snow and ice comes down from there, and erodes these peaks. Then the peaks have snow and ice as well, which that melts, and that creates the divots. Now we're quite lucky, normally Brilliant Karen is only about this size. We've got quite a big one. So we're quite lucky. Alright, now, this time here, we didn't know whether this fence is the river or not. So what we did, set some cave divers down. At the bottom, which believe me, from the surface to the bottom of that is 60 foot. So at the bottom, there's a little hole where you put your arm through. So what they did is they kicked some coloured pebbles through, see if they came into the river further downstream. They did, so it's connected, but it's an offshoot. There is no current whatsoever. Anything floating on that, unless it's fished out, we'll say it won't diminish, I promise. So, found my tour a bit boring. In fact, found my tour a bit boring, or a bit more adventurous tour. Come back next year, you go on the climbing tour, which is starting next year. Hence why Tom and Chris are trying to scrap through. That's what they do saw in every night. About halfway. I think there's a little tunnel about here. You climb through, you plop out there, then you climb up there. That's not artificial light up there, and then that